Hello, my name is Akira and I will be presenting my informative speech about abuse and domestic violence. Many people have the knowledge of knowing how many people deal with domestic violence in this world and the organizations that we have that have been created. 70% of women are killed when leaving an abusive relationship. An average of 24 people per minute are victims of rape, physical violence, or stalking by an intimate partner in the United States of America. More than 12 million women and men over the course of a single year. And that's honestly a lot. When it comes to domestic violence, it is commonly connected to women being mistreated by their spouses, but it can even be men being abused, elders, and children. A lot of people resonate domestic violence and abuse to women, and although that is very common, I like to let everyone know that it's not just women, it's men, elders, children, even animals. I will be informing you about the different dangers of domestic violence, the different behavioral changes and the statistics, and also how to get out of a dangerous environment, such as domestic violence. Now it's time to now it is time to get a little bit more personal. So domestic violence does hit home to me because I have family who have been abused, including me. Just to start off, I have a cousin, and me and my cousin, we were rooming at the time. And her boyfriend was living there. It was a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom. And whenever he felt disrespected, in the beginning, I wouldn't even say all it was because that is also abuse, verbal abuse. But he would yell at her when he felt disrespected, no matter how small you may think it may be. That's what would happen. Until one day, he decided to punch my cousin. I come home, I see everything in this dismay, and I see she has a swollen face with the eyes shut closed. He spit on her, as well as calling her out of her name. And just to let you know, if people don't realize that spitting is also considered assault, because you're spitting on someone. Now, I did try to assist her with leaving, but all that did was backfire on me because she felt as though I needed to mind my business. So I left that situation. She stayed with him while having to wear an eye patch on her eye while going to work. And her mom also told her to stay. So just to point that out, a lot of people fail to realize that even your family can encourage you to do things that you maybe should not do. So yeah, now me. When I was a child, me and my mom, we had a good bond. We went to movies, we ate ice cream, all the etceteras, movies, ice cream, play dates, things that you would do with your mother. But don't get her upset. Say one wrong thing, forget to put the clothes in the dryer, forget to wash the dishes, I don't know, forget to even take out the meat from out of the freezer. And here comes a punch to the gut, or being slapped, or phones being taken, internet being taken, computers being taken, cable cords being taken, all because of these things, or because I brought home lower than a B. Being forced to eat something out of the trash. That's what I dealt with. Excuse me, sorry. So, sorry. It's so much more to me. It's so much more to my abuse that I endured as a child, not just my mother, but I chose to forgive and live in the now. That's how I escaped my monster, my domestic violence, my abuse. Now that I have your attention, and now that I have shared an overview of what I will be touching on, we're going to dig deep into the types of statistics and dangers domestic violence brings and ways to escape and all the organizations that have been created. Domestic violence can be very life-threatening when it comes to your when it comes to your body. And when I say this, I mean physical abuse, which is any type of pain or physical impairment to the body, which can be burn marks that could come from cigarettes, pinches, bruises of any type that obviously shows that we see that on your body. Also, there is assault and battery or an inappropriate behavior like sexual behavior, which can be from your family members, friends, really anybody. Also, using restraints. For example, if you have parents, or maybe not parents, but I don't know, you get kidnapped and someone's trying to sexually assault you. Restraints. You get restraint on your arms, whether it's on the bed, on the table, wherever. It might just be a handcuff. Another sad thing that comes with domestic violence is death. Nearly 3 in 10 women, which is 29%, and 1 in 10 men, which is 10%, in the U.S. have experienced rape, physical abuse, and or stalking by a parent and reporting it being related to the impact of their function. Just to go back to when I informed you about the death situation. Like I stated earlier, about 70% of women die just off of trying to leave. Some does come from obviously being beaten to death or within that domestic violence circle, but death is very serious. 9.4% of high school students reported being hit, slapped, or physically hurt intentionally by their partners in the previous 12 months. 12 months. So that's the now. Recent, current. Excuse me. 52% of college women report knowing a friend who's experienced violent and abusive dating behaviors, including physical, sexual, digital, verbal, or other controlling abuses. Now, when it comes to getting out, that is the main goal when it comes to domestic violence. Speak up and tell someone. Speak up and tell someone. Come up with a plan. Do not just leave. Speak up and tell someone. Remember, a lot of women, mainly 70% of women, die from just being up and leaving. So, this is the plan. First, let them know you are being abused and you're trying to leave. Meaning, let your family members know. Let a coworker know. Let the police officer know. Let someone know. And you make that plan. Don't just up and leave, as I informed you earlier. Have someone with you when you're leaving. So you make that plan, you make that day, you set it up that you're leaving on that day. They're going to be with you to come help you leave that place. Rather, it's helping you pack, making sure you leave safely. You bring someone with you. Lastly, get informed. Inform yourself. There's a lot of sources out there. There are a lot of safe houses and organizations for women and men and people who are going through these trouble causes. With so many people being abused, there have been many laws that have been created and changed. The most recent and significant update to domestic violence law at the federal law was the Violence Against Women Act, Reauthorizing Act of 2022. This reauthorization extended many existing programs and also included new provisions addressing cyber crimes, sexual assault forensic exams, and even tribal jurisdictions, such as over the non-Indian Indian offenders. At state level, Florida recently passed the Gabby Petito Act, which mandates assessments for law enforcement responding to domestic disturbances, who responds to domestic disturbances, calls, and emphasizes training. Now that you have all the facts, I'd like to review. I explained the different types of domestic violence, statistics, stereotypes, laws, and even my relations to this topic. Now, what are your thoughts? Now, I want you to remember that, again, not only women are victims to domestic violence. Men, women, elders, animals. It can happen to anyone. So what are your thoughts? Thank you.